don't think you're ready for these creepy urban legends from Georgia. Georgia is the 10th state that we're going to be looking at, so I spent a little bit of extra time trying to find some real good, terrifying tales. Our first stop takes us to Roswell, Georgia, to a private residence so charmingly nicknamed the Creepy House. This address is said to have a jaded history and an awful apparition, starting at the beginning of the story, with not too much history to be found. It's said that the Creepy House was once a place of severe child abuse. Some versions of the story circulating stating that there is the body of a girl that's buried beneath the basement. Aside from the speculation of a sordid past, there is also said to be a really pissy phantom that does not like visitors on his property. Psychics and investigators have claimed to have interacted with this spirit, and that he has tried possessing visitors, while no longer in use today. Like and follow if you would have been brave enough to explore the Creepy House. But I don't think you're ready for these creepy urban legends from Georgia. When I say vampire, what do you say? Real or a thing of stories? Well, maybe hiding in plain sight is the best approach. In Atlanta, there is a venue that's called Masquerade. By the sounds of it, it seems like this is a good goth bar, and a music venue hosting a lot of rock and alternative acts, already having a chilling history as a mill before becoming a place for people to go and blow off steam. It's already believed to be haunted from the workplace accidents that have occurred on the property. And just to add the cherry on top, it's also said to be the house of a vampire. Living his Phantom of the Opera realness, he's said to be really tall. He lives in the basement, and has been responsible for moving music amps, loud screams, and the sounds of footsteps coming from the rafters. Although Masquerade has moved to a new location, and the original site is not open for exploration. Be sure to like and follow if you would have been brave enough to explore the Masquerade. But I don't think you're ready for these creepy urban legends from Georgia. This ghost story is so terrifying it ended up being the concept for a movie several years ago. Introducing the Wyric Family. As most of these stories start, it begins with a young family buying a new house. Since most of the paranormal activity happened to the young daughter Heidi, she's going to be the focus of my narrative. At a young age, she developed an imaginary friend by the name of Mr. Gordy. And shortly thereafter, a second one showed up by the name of Con. It was eventually found out from neighbors that there was a Mr. Gordy that owned that property and passed away several years prior to the Wyrics moving in, and a man so lovingly known as Uncle Lon, who had passed on the property from a work-related incident prior to Mr. Gordy. Things remained friendly with Mr. Gordy and Con. That is until Heidi's parents got pregnant with another child, and things turned malicious. A third, hooded apparition showed up and started physically attacking Heidi. The church got involved, and while prayers comforted the family, the hauntings continued. Like and follow if you'd be brave enough to visit this home. But I don't think you're ready for these creepy urban legends from Georgia. Allow me to set the scene. In downtown Atlanta, there stands the Ellis Hotel. This is a lesson on how looks can be deceiving, because what happened at that location in the past has been referred to as Georgia's Titanic. In the early 1900s, before this became the Ellis, this landmark was known as the Winecoff Hotel. Advertised as being fireproof, this was a very popular location to book a stay at in Atlanta. In the early morning hours of December 7th, 1946, a fire broke out. The outside was indeed designed to be fireproof. The problem is the fire broke out on the inside, and only having one fire escape for the 15 floors, disaster struck. Guests in that cold morning in 1946 met their fate by fire or by jumping to take their chances. Ghostly happenings still occur at the Ellis to this day. Activity ranges from the elevators going by themselves, objects moving, footsteps and screams going down the corridor. Hit that like and follow if you'd be brave enough to stay the night at the Ellis. But I don't think you're ready for these creepy urban legends from Georgia. Just north of Atlanta, there stands a man-made lake that has quite the dark story behind it. Many locals advise against going for any reason at all. Perhaps due to its history of being cursed, many accidents have happened there, disproportionately there compared to other places. Prior to its construction in the 1950s, Lake Lanier is now settled on a site that used to be a small town called Oscarville, which all of the residents were forced out of their homes so that they could build this lake. General consensus is that the whole place is cursed. And to add insult to injury, it's said that there's a giant catfish that lives at the bottom of the lake that will occasionally swallow up swimmers. Be sure to like and follow if you'd be brave enough to visit Lake Lanier. But